Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about college basketball best bets against the spread for January 16, 2017. There's a little bit of action on the board today, a little bit more to choose from than we had yesterday, but I still don't see a lot of overwhelming value, in particular for these matchups that we're getting today in college basketball. I am going to cover all of the afternoon Big East games, a lot of Big East fans out there, and I'm just going to give my take on those particular matchups. And all in all, in this video, I'm going to be covering 6 matchups and take my best play against the spread in those particular 6 games. If you're interested in which games I'm going to be talking about, I will put those in the video description. Also, if you want to get our daily free play, you can head on over to our main site, stumpthespread.com, by clicking this logo in the top right-hand corner. Also, link Stump the Spread in the video description. USC was able to come through as our free winner yesterday. And we'll have another 1-unit free play up there for today. And also, you can upgrade to get our premium content across all major American sports. Right now we have the NFL, NBA, NHL, as well as college basketball in season right now that we're covering and bringing you our top confidence bets in there on a regular basis. So just another reminder, if you're interested in more of this kind of content in the future, you can click that subscribe button, and also if you can click that thumbs up on this video, it's greatly appreciated and really helps us out. Like I said, we got 6 games I'm going to be talking about in this particular video. Heading right into it, the first game we got here is going to be the afternoon game in the Big East between Marquette and Butler. Marquette was able to handle their business during their recent two-game homestand, getting past Seton and DePaul to improve to 12-5 overall and 3-2 in conference. Marquette is one of the faster-paced teams in the conference, ranking 19th in the nation in scoring average and 188th in total defense. The Golden Eagles haven't done well necessarily when facing adversity in some of their tougher matchups this season, and this will be another difficult test for Marquette today, going into one of the more challenging road atmospheres in the conference. Marquette has a lot of scoring options, with really an impressive 7 players averaging between 9 to 13 points per game on what has been a pretty balanced offensive attack for Marquette this year. And then the home team, the Butler Bulldogs, have surpassed expectations so far this season, standing an impressive 15-3 overall and 4-2 in conference thus far. Butler has strengths on both sides of the ball, ranking 60th in the nation in total defense and 100th in scoring average. The Bulldogs picked up their a great resume-building win in their last outing, getting past Xavier at home by a final of 83-78. Butler has won 4 of the last 5 in conference play, with their only loss during this stretch coming on the road against Creighton. Butler can also spread the ball around to a number of different options, and their top scorer right now is returner Keelan Martin, who's been leading this attack, averaging 16.6 points per game. Butler has one of the best home court advantages in basketball, and the Bulldogs have been using their home court well so far this season to rack up their RPI strengthening wins. Marquette is heading into a very tough challenge, and it'll be interesting to see how the Golden Eagles respond in this particular situation. We do like Butler to handle their business again today at home as they go on to outpace Marquette and go on to cover the spread. All right, moving on to another Big East matchup here. We got Creighton versus Xavier. We really liked the makeup of this Creighton squad coming into the year, and the Blue Jays have even surpassed our high expectations for what we had of them, as they stand 17-1 overall and 4-1 in conference. Creighton has been the deadliest offensive squad in the conference, ranking 10th in the nation in scoring average, putting up 87.6 points per game on average. Creighton is loaded with offensive threats, with 4 players averaging over 12 points per game, and K-State transfer Marcus Foster has led this offense, averaging 18.2 points per game. Creighton has been playing well on the road, standing 4-0 in true road games so far this season. And in their last road game, the Blue Jays got past Providence by a final of 78-64 in what was another really impressive road result there for Creighton. The Xavier Musketeers are coming off back-to-back losses on the road against the likes of Villanova and Butler, and the Musketeers will get challenged again today going against one of the other top teams in the conference. Xavier was a lot more competitive in their last outing, coming up just short on the road against Butler, losing to the Bulldogs by a final of 78-83. The Musketeers have been steady on both sides of the ball this season, ranking around 100th in the nation in both scoring average and total defense. Xavier has largely been a 3-man attack, with Blewett, Sumner, and Makura all averaging over 14 points per game. This should be a tremendous afternoon game to watch for anyone that's able to do so. Xavier has a solid home court advantage, while Creighton has played very well in road atmosphere so far this year. In what should be a really competitive matchup, we do like the Blue Jays to come through here as they push for the upset and go on to cover this spread in what should be a pretty competitive matchup here. Moving on to yet another Big East game, we got DePaul versus St. John's. The DePaul Blue Demons were hoping they could start turning things around this season, but it's largely been another year of struggles for DePaul as the Blue Demons stand just 8-10 overall and 1-4 in conference. DePaul hasn't really shown much strength on either side of the ball, ranking 255th in the nation in scoring and 179th in total defense. The Blue Demons were embarrassed in their last outing, losing to Marquette on the road by a final of 58-83, and DePaul has won just one of their last 7 games overall. The Blue Demons have been roughed up recently on the road, and this group has been led by Eli Kane, who's averaging 16.4 points per game. Even though it doesn't really show in their record, St. John's has been improving this season, standing 8-11 overall and 2-4 in the Big East. St. John's has been progressing on the offensive end as this unit ranks 120th in the nation in scoring compared to 237th in total defense. As expected, the Red Storm came up short in their last outing at home, losing to Villanova by a final of 57-70. But this is a great chance for St. John's to get back on track after losing their last 4 games in a row. The Red Storms played some of their better ball at the start of Big East play, picking up wins against Butler and DePaul. St. John's has been led by Levette and Pons, who are each averaging 17.3 points per game apiece. DePaul has been a mess on the road recently, but perhaps they can be more competitive today going against one of the lesser teams in the conference. St. John's should be hungry to get back on track, especially behind their home court advantage. We do like the home team to get the job done in this one as they go on to win and cover this manageable spread here on their home court. All right, the next game I want to talk to is going to be the last Big East game that I talk about in this particular video, and that's going to be Seton Hall versus the Villanova Wildcats. The Seton Hall Pirates aren't the prettiest team, but this veteran group fights hard, and the Pirates currently stand 12-5 overall and 2-3 in the Big East. Seton Hall is coming off back-to-back losses on the road against Marquette and Providence, and things get even tougher for the Pirates today going on the road against the best team in the conference. Fatigue could also play a factor for Seton Hall in this one, going into their 3rd straight road game in conference. The Pirates like to play off of their tough defense, and Seton Hall currently ranks around 110th in the nation in both scoring and total defense. Seton Hall is led by Carrington and Rodriguez, who are averaging 18.5 and 16.6 points per game, respectively. Villanova has remained impressive coming off of their national titles. The Wildcats stand 17-1 overall and 5-1 in conference. Villanova's only defeat this season came on the second leg of a back-to-back on the road in a competitive matchup against Baylor in what was a really tough road atmosphere. And Villanova really did compete well in that one, even though they did come up short right at the end. Villanova has shown elite play on both sides of the ball, ranking 17th in the nation in total defense and 69th in scoring. In their last outing, Villanova came through on the road, beating St. John's by a final of 70-57. In their last home game, Villanova looked tremendous, beating Xavier by a final of 79-54. Villanova has been led by veteran Josh Hart, who's averaging 19.3 points per game. Villanova has a great home court advantage, which they've been using well so far this season to rack up convincing wins. Seton Hall is heading into their 3rd straight road game in conference, and the Pirates could be worn down a bit coming off back-to-back competitive defeats. We do like the home squad to come through here today as they go on to win and cover this spread and really win this one convincingly with giving a lot of points here to the road team. All right, guys. Next game I want to talk to is going to be over in the Horizon League, and we got Cleveland State against Oakland. Cleveland State has been competitive in most of their defeats, but the Vikings haven't had much success as of late, as they now stand 15-3 overall and just winning one of their last 9 games overall. Thus far in conference, Cleveland State stand just 1-5, and this group has had serious issues on the offensive side of the ball, ranking 311th in the nation in scoring, and really not being great in defense either, ranking over 200th in the nation in total defense. Cleveland State lost on their home court the other day, falling to Valparaiso by a final of 67-78. The Vikings have 3 primary offensive threats with Edwards, Flanagan, and Word, all averaging at least 11 points per game. Then we have the home team in this one, the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. They have been the class of the Horizon League, standing 14-4 overall and 4-1 in conference, but Oakland hasn't looked quite as dominant lately, coming off a close win on the road against Illinois Chicago, and then they followed that one up with a very surprising 88-93 loss at home against Detroit the other day. That was one where we liked Detroit getting the about 18.5 points, but we did think Oakland was going to win, obviously, especially coming into their home court as such significant favorites, but they fell in that one, which was quite a bit of a surprise for them. This is an Oakland squad that really has strengths on both sides of the ball, as they rank 57th in the nation in scoring and 90th in total defense. This is the most talented roster in the Horizon, and this group has been led by Martez Walker, who's averaging 17.4 points per game. Oakland really has a lot of high-caliber transfers on their roster, which has really given them a boost in the Horizon, and Oakland hasn't been playing quite as well since their impressive win on the road against Valpo, but this group should be a bit hungrier, coming off of a less-than-ideal loss against the Titans. Cleveland State has shown they're susceptible to getting blown out on the road by quality opposition, and we feel that'll be the case again today as Oakland goes on to really play with a little bit more fight in this one as they go on to win and cover the spread behind their home crowd. And just one more game that I want to touch on today, and that's going to be over in the Big 12. Let's see here. We got Kansas versus Iowa State. The Kansas Jayhawks have been consistent winners throughout the regular season, but this is one of the higher-ranked squads that actually haven't been overly dominant in a good portion of their wins, ranking 14th in the nation in scoring, but a less impressive 143rd in total defense. Kansas is still the front runners to win the Big 12 standing, 16-1 overall and 5-0 in conference, but we expect more out of this group as they've really played in some competitive games that we really felt that they should have been able to win in blowout fashion, especially on their home court. In the last outing, Kansas had a tough time shaking Oklahoma State, and they went on to win that one by a final of 87-80. The Jayhawks have 4 players averaging in double figures, with veteran Frank Mason leading the team, averaging over 20 points per game. Then we have the home team, Iowa State. They came up short in their last outing on the road, losing to TCU by a final of 77-84. The Cyclones have put up some respectable results this season, standing 11-5 overall and 3-2 in the Big 12. And Iowa State boasts one of the better home court advantages in the nation, as well as in the Big 12. The Cyclones have shown strengths on both sides of the ball, ranking 37th in the nation in scoring average, as well as 67th in total defense. Iowa State hasn't been overly impressive at home in conference play, barely getting past Texas Tech and Texas in their 2 home wins in what were both really competitive games. Iowa State also has 4 players averaging in double figures, with Mitriu Long leading the team, averaging 15.7 points per game. If Iowa State's going to pick up this upset, they really are going to need their veteran point guard Monty Morris to have one of his best games of the year. Kansas stands undefeated in Big 12 play, but it won't be easy for the Jayhawks to continue this trend as they start to go on the road against some of the other top teams in the conference. Iowa State hasn't been overly impressive at home thus far in Big 12 play, and what should be a rather competitive matchup will side with the undefeated conference Big 12 leaders in Kansas to just scrape this one out as they go on to win and cover the spread. This is going to be a similar tough test. You know, I remember watching Iowa State earlier in the year in a home game against Cincinnati. They came up short in that one, and they have shown that they can be beaten on their home court this year. They haven't been quite as dominant at home as we've seen them in recent years, and we do feel like this veteran Kansas squad has the pieces to go into that tough road atmosphere and get the job done, much like Cincinnati was able to do back during the non-conference. So that's going to wrap up the games that I wanted to touch on for today's action in college basketball. Again, if you're interested in getting our daily free play in college basketball, you can head on over to our main site, stumpthespread.com, to get that play, as well as you can upgrade to a premium membership to get all of our highest confidence bets. And if you're interested in getting more of this kind of pick content in the future, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button, and if you can click that thumbs up, it's really helping us out and is greatly appreciated. So thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you in the next college basketball video. Thanks, guys. We'll see you then. Bye.